In this video, I'm going to go through an unusual reading tip that will help you read a lot faster and better. So stay tuned. Hi, it's Tansel here, 4-time Australian memory champion, helping you learn faster and better. If you like these videos, please subscribe, as I'm reaching 1,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for tuning in. Now, by now, you would have come across a few of the reading tips from my videos and also my blogs on my website regarding speed reading techniques and visualization. In this video, I want to be able to focus on what makes reading really powerful and give you that one unusual tip. Now, if you haven't done so already, check out my video on speed reading, because I've done a whole playlist on that where you get to learn the techniques of using a visual guide and chunking and all these cool methods. So check that out. I'll put the link in the description. Click on that, because that's a whole speed reading course right there for you. So if you want more tips, click on that. The tip that I have for you today on reading a lot better is to read fiction. That's right. Reading fiction. Now, when you look at fiction, the most important elements are deep imagery. Now, what that means is that you're exercising your brain to see the images that are written for you. Instead of seeing something that's abstract, if you're reading nonfiction, it's very difficult to be able to visualize. In this case, if you're reading fiction, what happens is that the images come to you, and that's because it's detailed. They're explaining, they're describing the authors, that is, and they're getting to such detail that you're getting deep imagery. Now, what does that do? It creates connections in your brain that connects to that image, and that image represents the content. You're able to grasp that content a lot better. So deep imagery, very, very powerful. The next tip is fiction contains storytelling. Storytelling is extremely powerful because it connects a group of contexts together, binds them all together via association, so we remember a lot better. You look at all the times that you've listened to a story or you've heard someone speak. When there's a story involved, I can guarantee you've probably switched on and engaged, right? What about movies? Think about that. You watch movies, you're engaged into a story, you're connected for a longer period of time. When you're reading something that's abstract, again, I'll keep bringing this up, right? When I say abstract, it could be something, legal, it could be technical. As soon as we start reading these things, we get tired straight away because there's nothing to engage us. When was the last time you read terms and conditions? Now, have a think about that. Is that engaging? Is that exciting? No, because it's a whole bunch of words that don't make any sense to us, right? We have to be able to visualize that through the deep imagery, and storytelling will make it more exciting. If we read the terms and conditions in a story, if that was in a comic strip, guess what? It'll be more memorable. So in this case, looking into a story and connecting with the story helps us to engage our brain so that when we do get to something more technical, we can view it in more of a story sense. So training your mind to look at stories is a really good way of training your brain to read a lot better. And the third tip there is imagination. Let's look at imaginative instances where you've got imaginative environments, you've got imaginative people, consequences, outcomes, situations that people are placed in. Imagination is what gives you the power to encode information in your brain. The more you exercise imagination, the easier it will be to be able to read. Imagination is truly a powerful solution to be able to read better, so give that a go. And finally, reading fiction creates engagement. Because of everything that I mentioned earlier, you've got images, you've got stories, you've got color and characters and emotions in there. You've got all these things, and what that does, it creates engagement. So the more your brain is engaged by reading this stuff, the more you can apply it in stuff that doesn't engage the brain. Have a think about that. You're not always going to train your brain by just reading technical information. Yes, you'll eventually get better the more and more you read that. But if there was another way to fine tune your brain, to be able to visualize, to be able to encode, to be able to see the stories and create greater engagement, you can transfer that knowledge to the abstract information. So this is why reading fiction is extremely powerful. Here's another little tip for you. instead of just reading a book on fiction, just get any fiction book that may pique your interest and use it as a practice book. Right? Use it as a practice book, not so much to enjoy reading a fiction book. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But what you can do is just get one on the side for practice. Do a little bit of training on there for visual purposes and engagement purposes. And then when you get onto your more abstract non-fiction books, you'll notice a little bit of a difference because your brain's being engaged. So that's the cool part of reading fiction. So those 4 things again: deep imagery, storytelling, imagination, and finally, you've got engagement. Use those 4 elements while reading fiction, and you'll have an amazing time reading more abstract, difficult stuff. So give that a go. If you like the video, please hit the like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.